Hi there, I'm Nathan. Immersive storytelling. In the world of themed entertainment, this is one of the ultimate goals for any ride or attraction. Bring people into the story you're telling them and completely immerse them in the settings, story beats, and characters. But this is often easier said than done. Over the past several years, we've seen countless innovations in the world of themed entertainment. Whether it's lands like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, or rides like Rise of the Resistance. But despite these massive steps forward, there's still questions about how immersive storytelling can truly be done well. And while there have been some experiences that have truly gone above and beyond, well, the Galactic Star Cruiser closed after just 1 year, and Sleep No More finished its final run of productions, so I can't really visit either one of those to see what made them just so special. But fortunately for me, there's another place I can go if I want to experience some immersive storytelling. But in order to do that, I've got to go bowling.
Wait a minute.
Meow Wolf. Over the past several years, this company has established itself as one of the leaders in the world of themed entertainment, with a variety of incredible projects across the United States. While I've been following them since about 2018, I'd never actually gotten the chance to visit any of their locations. So this year, I decided to finally go visit Meow Wolf for myself, and go back to where it all started. Santa Fe, New Mexico, and Meow Wolf's first permanent exhibition, the House of Eternal Return. I was visiting there for two purposes. First, I'd never been to a Meow Wolf location and I wanted to check one out because, it looked really freaking cool. But second, I wanted to take a look at their approach to storytelling. Meow Wolf has this incredibly unique approach when it comes to immersive storytelling, and I wanted to visit for myself and see just what made their projects tick. All I had to do now was make the drive.
Hi there, past Nathan that's currently driving. Don't video and record and drive, people. Safety stuff. Originally, the plan was to basically take all of Saturday and drive to Santa Fe and then do Meow Wolf Sunday morning. However, I unintentionally give myself a slight wrinkle in my plans by deciding to comment on an Instagram post that was giving away by Meow Wolf that was giving away a couple of tickets to a concert that is happening the night before. And, I won. Which means, on the one hand, I get to see a concert for free. On the other hand, it means that my leisurely 11-hour drive is actually an 11-hour drive that I have to finish in 11 hours so I can make it to the venue in time to see the show. Thanks, Meow Wolf, for giving me the tickets and drawing me for winning the prize, I guess. But, anyways, back to the road. I've realized I probably shouldn't have been filming this while I'm driving directly into the sun. This is my sunshade keeping the sun from being, beaming directly in my eyes. Oh my gosh, this is painful. Ah!
With my drive successfully completed, all I had to do now was get ready for Sunday so that I could explore the House of Eternal Return completely blind. Or at least as blind as one can be when you've been following a company's work for over 5 years and are attending a concert at that literal exhibit the night before. So, what exactly is the story that's being told here? Well, the premise of the exhibit is pretty simple. You're visiting the home of the Selig family. On March 17th, 2016, at 7:06 p.m., an event happened in this house that caused the multiverse to be ripped open and the house's inhabitants to vanish. By visiting this house and the worlds beyond, and piecing together the clues that you find, you'll be able to piece together the events of the story and what happened in this house that caused everybody to vanish. Now, just as a quick word of warning, I'm not going to be going into any story spoilers about the events in this house, but I will be spoiling some of the elements of the story that can be uncovered and how you can discover them, so be warned. So, what did this entire experience teach me about immersive storytelling? Well, it actually taught me a couple of very important things. One that any person looking to design an immersive experience needs to keep in mind. So without any further ado, here are 3 rules for immersive storytelling, at least according to Meow Wolf, that I can determine after visiting their exhibit and doing a lot of research. Rule number 1, your story must be adaptable. Unlike a movie or a book, an immersive story needs to be able to adapt to the people experiencing it. Designing an experience expecting your audience to follow in your footsteps beat by beat is simply impossible, since guests won't always take the path that you want them to follow. At best, they'll follow in your footsteps but end up at a different conclusion than you. Or at worst, they get lost at step 1 and as a result go away hating the entire thing. The House of Eternal Return offers a simple solution to this problem. Just make the story non-linear. While the events that make up HOER's story are incredibly linear, the elements themselves are scattered throughout the entire exhibit. As a result, the experience changes from follow the beats of the story one after another to find every single element of the story and then piece them all together. Pulling from the other examples I mentioned, both the Galactic Starcruiser and Sleep No More used elements of non-linear storytelling in their experiences, although each took a slightly different approach. With the Galactic Starcruiser, focus was shifted off of the world and onto the guests, with the plot being used as a vehicle for guests to be able to interact with the world. While there were still general limits to what paths guests could take in the story, Rebellion, First Order, or Smuggler, there was still a focus on flexibility built into each one of those paths, so that the individual paths could adapt and change to fit with the desires of the individual guest. The Starcruiser treated its story a little bit more like a D&D campaign, keeping the story beats consistent while letting guests determine how they wanted their characters to interact with that story. In a similar vein, Sleep No More used one overarching story for the entire experience. However, every character within that story was given their own distinct character arc and plot. As a result, guests had to actively determine for themselves which characters and events they wanted to follow and focus on. While the 3-hour story would have the plot repeating once every single hour, the sheer number of characters and experiences in that story would make it impossible for someone to follow every single beat of every single character in just one viewing. As a result, the experience was transformed into one where the situation was constantly happening, and guests simply had to choose which parts of the story they wanted to follow. All of these different methods of storytelling all serve the same basic purpose. No matter what the story is that's being told, the guests are ultimately the ones that determine how that story is told, because it's being told to them. Rule number 2, reward engagement. This one has a few different layers involved with it. Obviously, you want your guests to stay engaged with the story, but at the same time, you don't want them feeling like they're having to put in work to stay involved. As such, rewarding guests along the way, whether that's through unexpected surprises or extra little bits of detail in the plot, gives guests reasons to stay engaged, while also feeling like the work that they're putting in is being paid off. While this approach can be used in a general sense with the overall story, adding further layers of these rewards can draw guests further into the experience, enticing them to actively engage and interact with the world around them. Meow Wolf does this in a couple of different ways. For example, take the Meow Wolf app. I have a line written into my script that says broken phone gag here, and I don't know what the gag is, because I have a phone that doesn't work, but I don't know what the gag is that I was intending here. I'm just gonna move on. Many plot documents and bits of lore can be found in the app's database, not only allowing you to further engage with the story, but allowing you to take those bits of information with you after you leave the experience. By using the app to engage with the story, your reward is an almost complete picture of what's going on, one that can be solved at your own personal leisure. In another example, many of the clues within HOER actively extend beyond the walls of the exhibit space. Some are simply Easter eggs that just tie the House of Eternal Return to other Meow Wolf locations, such as the Real Unreal Omega Mart or Convergence Station. Others are real-world websites that you can visit on your computer or cell phone. These aren't necessary to get an overall picture of the plot, but by exploring them and diving into them, you're rewarded with a more complete and detailed understanding of what's going on. This is also something that the Galactic Star Cruiser and Sleep No More used well. With the Star Cruiser, actively engaging and participating with the story would lead to some of the coolest moments on the entire experience, such as the holocron scene with Rey. And in Sleep No More, showing that you were actively engaged and invested in what was going on around you could lead to the actors in the experience having one-on-one scenes with you, personal, intimate moments that nobody else would be able to experience. But both use this idea of exclusive experiences to draw people further into the story. Show that you're engaged, and you could very easily be rewarded for it. Rule number 3. Don't leave people behind. This is easily the most important rule, and one that Meow Wolf seems to be doing the best out of all the examples I've mentioned. See, while it's important to draw people further into the story and immerse them in the experience, some people simply won't engage with the story that's being told. And this can be for any number of reasons. They might feel overwhelmed by everything, they might be confused by the story, they might just need a break. But no matter the reasons, they just won't be invested with your world. Which is why it's important not to leave them behind. The Galactic Star Cruiser is the best example of why you need to remember those guests. See, in order to experience the Star Cruiser to its fullest potential, guests needed to be 100% invested with the story from the moment they stepped on board. And for many people, that simply wasn't possible. As a result, these guests would end up missing out on some of the Star Cruiser's best moments. And with such a hefty price tag attached to the experience, that lack of adaptability would ultimately help to kill the ship off in the end. In a similar vein, Sleep No More offers a couple of bars scattered throughout the entire experience. Ones that you can visit if you feel like you need to step back a little bit from the plot. What muddies their inclusion, however, is that several characters within the story, albeit minor ones, visit and frequent these bars as part of their character arcs. As a result, even if you want to step back, you aren't able to fully 100% separate yourself from the experience. And if you want to leave, well, you can't get back inside. Once you step out that building, you're done. Meow Wolf does this adaptability for the best, but it's not for the reason you think. See, if I'm being completely honest here, the story being told at House of Eternal Return kinda sucks. Now, don't get me wrong, I really do enjoy the story being told in House of Eternal Return. However, when it comes to how that story is executed, I find it to be a bit lacking. This is mostly due to the fact that many of the plot elements in the story are tied directly into the house itself, with little connections plot-wise to the realms beyond. Some areas, such as Portals Bermuda or the Laser Harp, are quite easy to spot, while others just feel kind of shoehorned in. But that isn't a bad thing. See, when it came to HOER, the focus wasn't on immersing guests in the story, it was on immersing guests in the art. And the story was just being used as a tool to help further immerse guests within that world. As the creative team themselves notes in one of the behind-the-scenes videos for the project,
we never held the story too close. We let it evolve and we let it change into becoming what it needed to become to support the exhibit.
The team wasn't designing the art to fit the story, but rather using the story to justify the art. The reason Meow Wolf is able to tell its story so effectively is because the story is an additional piece of art, and the guests can determine if and how they interact with it. While one guest visiting HOER might enjoy the experience because of that story, another can get the same level of enjoyment without ever interacting with that story, simply because the immersion is the only thing they're visiting for. This approach has been something that's made all of Meow Wolf's projects so successful. They're ultimately something that anyone can enjoy. Want to feel like a hero? Then the storylines at Omega Mart will do just that. Want to take some time to yourself? Well, the Real Unreal, or House of Eternal Return, will provide more than enough cozy spots to just relax. Want some cool stuff to interact with? Well, Convergent C Street alone will keep you entertained for hours. Want some neat Instagram pics? Yeah, I don't think I can help you there. Maybe Kaleidoscape has an on-ride photo? The art behind Meow Wolf's immersive storytelling is just that. Art. As is every element of the Meow Wolf experience. The visuals, the interactives, the soundscapes, the environments, they're all art. And those 3 rules for immersive storytelling, adaptability, spurring curiosity, and inclusion are also great rules when making art. And wouldn't you know it, those are 3 of Meow Wolf's 5 core values. Meow Wolf's approach to storytelling is the same approach that they take with every aspect of their projects. As a result, the stories told in Meow Wolf exhibits completely draw guests further into the experience, adding that extra layer of immersion that makes them so wonderful to explore. And with each Meow Wolf location adding a brand new chapter to the ever-expanding multiverse, who knows where that story is gonna go next. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some catching up to do. After all, I'm only 1 chapter in, and it looks like there's a whole lot more chapters to the story, and a lot more portals on the horizon that'll be opening soon. I wish I could put like a portal or something here to jump into, but I can't really do that because I suck at VFX, so I'm just gonna walk off.